my laptop, obviously, because we need to be able to hear these things. And I just lost my power. That's okay. I set it up a different way today, so I'm kind of hoping it's all going to work out. But honestly, with me, who knows? I can see myself. I can see comments. That's the main thing. All right. So, here's a bag I prepared earlier. Although I've just realised I don't have any bag foam cut out, so we're going to do that. But I can sew it in, so it'll be fine. I wanted to use some of this. I bought this ages ago from Lincraft. They were selling the whole roll of this for $20. Morning, Marie. I don't know which way you prefer. So I bought this for $20, and it is awesome, and I just don't seem to use it enough. So I've decided to. It's pretty much what's happening there. Those ones are blunt. Let's try these ones today. Hello, Sandra. I'm just trying to pick a thread color. That's the hardest bit here. I think I want medium brown. Not too dark, not too light. Hello, everybody. This will be a nice color to go with it. So yesterday I had a bit of a, well, I didn't. My internet had a bit of a meltdown. It's not totally my fault. I planned to do this bag live, but the internet had a meltdown, so I couldn't. And then it was a whole thing. We're gonna need a bobbin as well. I have been doing pretty well, actually. It's quite cold here today. I mean, cold for me. It's like 20 degrees. It's not that cold compared to other places, but I'm feeling cold. Hence the jumper. I love this jumper. This was a hoodie I got from like Kmart, and then put the cute embroidery design because I like to wear custom clothes because I have the ability. And that is something I'm noticing. If I have the capabilities, I like to do it myself. Keeps my time very full and taken, but that's all right. Right, always do them full tilt. It's good for them, I promise. We are roaming in Florida. Well, that sounds fun. I know I haven't done many videos lately. A lot's been going on. I've been trying to laser engrave those zipper pulls that I offered. Turns out the rose gold ones just don't work. I have tried everything. The only way to make the rose gold ones actually engrave is to buy a more powerful laser, which I cannot afford, so we won't be doing that, unfortunately. The more powerful laser is like $8,000, which is $8,000 I do not possess. Also, that's not going to work until I put a bobbin in. Good job, me. We're going to use the half-used one. Otherwise, you end up with like a whole bunch of half-used bobbins. And that's just not fun either. Oh, you're roasting in Florida. Okay, so it's hot. It's not hot here. Okay, we've got a tail. That's the main thing. I'm going to go straight up to a 4-stitch length. And we're going to start with the bits on top, which is this. So, for those of you who are fairly new here, when you've got funny shape stuff, I never cut out two and try and match them. I cut one perfectly, and then I cut a piece that fits it with a bit of give. Now, did I have to use this much give? No, but this is where I cut the other one from, and then this is just kind of close to the edge. And I do this because you get a much nicer finish if you do it this way, and you spend less time painstakingly worrying about the other bits. Nobody wants to play that. So I don't. Also, I have adjusted these bits here for a 1 inch because I'm going to do a 1 inch strap, and so I wanted 1 inch holders. So that was just a matter of drawing the original and then adding 1/8 of an inch to each side, which was surprisingly easy. I actually just got a 1 inch ruler, lined it up in the middle, and drew the lines on the side. That's pretty much all I did there. So we're just going to stick it down. You can also laser engrave or embroider on this part here, or you can add conchos or other stuff. So you do that before you stick them together, and then you sew it at the end. It does look lovely when you do it. And I'm going to try and get nice and close to this edge, while also worrying about my posture. These are things that I have been considering lately. I'm trying to live a healthier me. So you might see some videos soon where I start making my own skincare. It won't be to sell, it's just going to be for fun. But you guys can kind of, if you want to, watch those videos and see me do crazy things. Because I've started getting like a bit of a rash. I've never had a rash before in my life. I've never had eczema or anything. I was the lucky one that got asthma in the family. And so I've decided that it's probably the crap I'm putting on my skin. Therefore, I'm going to start making my own and see if it all goes away. This is the logic behind my crazy ideas, just if you needed to know that. So I will probably record it just because I can. And you guys don't have to watch them. I will still obviously be doing videos and stuff, and I won't be doing like every skincare under the sun, but just stuff that I normally use, I'm going to replace with like handmade stuff by me, because then I know what's in it, and hopefully I can solve the problem of itchy fingers. Alright, scissors. So that's beautifully stitched out now. And now all I have to do is cut around it. And then if you want to, you can edge coat it and all the other things. But it is much easier to cut these evenly now. I mean, you can cut them on the Cricut. I know a lot of people do that, which is also a very good idea. Not knocking it at all. But still, just cut one and then do this. Works so good. But we're all doing pretty well here. We have been sick last week. My husband caught the man flu, then gave it to me. I've still got the remnants of it because, again, my lungs suck. I have asthma. I went through a whole asthma puffer in the last week, which, for those of you that know, that's a lot. All right, beautiful. Done. So this all started, this bag, because I had a really cool looking DTF. So this was from Temu, AliExpress, some kind of shop like that. And I just think it looks amazing. And this is the bag that it fit the best on. So it was too big for a Vixen. It would have also fitted on an Empress, but I felt like doing a Rascal. These kind of colors, I just so happen to have this lining in my stash, and it matches pretty well. So it's got the orange and the mustardy yellow. So I went, that's close enough. It's flowers, it's in the same tonal range. That's how I come up with this bag. I think it looks great. But the gusset will require foam, in my opinion, because otherwise things just flop too much for me, personally. So it's got one slip pocket on the back, and I'm doing one Tory pocket. And I've just got to find the slip pocket exterior. And we're going to put this fringing just around the gusset. There's no triangle accent on my version today because the DTF takes up the whole page, so there was no use for it. Yeah, asthma. I don't know what COPD is, but asthma definitely sucks. If I giggle too much, I get asthma, which is a problem because I very much enjoy laughing. Alright, I'm going to go back down to a 2 and, well, that's 2 1/4, but that's good enough. So I have been thinking a lot lately about using up more of my fabrics. I am trying very hard not to purchase stuff. In saying that though, I showed somebody a photo of this bag. How amazing is this? So this is from String Theory Fabric Art, and then I found this vinyl online. It's amazing. I love it. Like $14 for 30 centimeters, but whatever. So I showed my friend this, and they actually want a custom bag, one in red and one in black with this guy, which makes me very happy because I do have a rule where I have to use an embroidery machine design twice before I'm allowed to go buy more. So that's going to get me my twice, but I have had to order more vinyl. I have ordered 2 lots, so 60 centimeters. I am hoping it'll come as a continuous piece, but they usually don't. 30 centimeters is just not big enough, in my opinion. I find that it is a problem. I would prefer 1/2 meter pieces because I can get an empress out of a 1/2 meter piece. 12 inches or 30 centimeters is just not a lot for a lot of the things I make. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Oh, that sucks. So inside and sewing feels like the perfect thing for you. All right, back up to 4 to top stitch along this edge. Now this vinyl is from Spotlight, and once I cut it, I realized I was actually gonna make something and send it to a friend, but oh well, moving on. I got caught up in the moment of making this bag. It happens. Beautiful. This stitch color was a great choice. It's light, but not too light that it takes over anything. So I'm going to take this and we're going to line it up. Now, a couple of little add-ons. Sewing is great. I love sewing. Right, so a couple of add-ons that you could do right now before we went any further. You could put a Tory pocket on the slip pocket right about here. And the reason I'm going to mention this is because Sandra and I are creating a dice game. There's a live, you can go watch it. And one of the dice rolls is add-ons to the bag. So you could add a zipper pocket here or up the top here. Would look cool. You could have made this wider and had this kind of pinched with little darts to make it stick out more. I do want to show you guys how to do that, so that'll be a thing. I'm also trying to limit my fabric purchases. I love that I have so much fabric, and it is always good to be able to look and go, what do I want to make? But sometimes having so many choices is also a bit of a curse because you don't actually need that much fabric sitting here. And if I'm not careful, I'll never get through it all. So it is why it's kind of my mission to get through all my fabrics. I know they say those who die with the largest hoard wins, and I do understand that's a bit of a joke and how you justify buying more fabric. I get all of that, but also when you die, a lot of it will end up in an op shop or the dump because people won't appreciate the stuff you've got as much as you did. So you may as well enjoy it. This is my logic. Oh, we're going to have the edits tonight. That's cool. I mean, there's no hurry. I haven't started getting emails about where is it yet, so that's cool. Now, you can clip that if you need to. This is not a slippery vinyl, so I wasn't worried that it was going to move while I tacked that on. It's also kind of beautiful. So if you did have a Rascal, one of the add-ons that you could do is a zipper pocket there, or you could put a hidden message in here, because that's one of the things as well, guys. The game's going to be great. There's so many great options. So the dice game will be available to everyone. We just need to fix the few errors we ran into. Like the D20, number 20 was missing. Feels somewhat important. So we'll be doing stuff like that, and then it will be available. For now, it'll be available only through my website because Sandra's is down for maintenance. And we have decided that you have to be on the mailing list to get it. So it's not going to be a download as such. And it's going to be a PDF, and the PDF will have 4 pages. So it'll have 2 pages as the color options and then 2 pages as a black and white version so that you can just print the pages you want rather than having it as a zip file, because we did have that discussion and we decided that zip files are no good. Alright, so I just put a crease to help me get this straight. Straight is important, people. We like straight. We also like clips. Clips are your friend. It holds everything in place. I also have to get some hardware. I haven't done that yet. Other side. Nice and slow on the back stitch because we all know my machine or me has issues with that. Choppity chop chop. So I need to make 6 of these to take to the market with me next month. I'm on a mission to have 6 of each type of bag that I take, preferably. And then there'll be like one line. Where did I put my scissors? There. They're just upside down. I have still quit Red Bull, but today I did grab a V. I actually don't like these at all. They are gross. But I have not had a Red Bull since I quit Red Bull. I nearly had a Red Bull today. I stared at it. I'm like, no, I have better self-control. So I got something I don't like. It's gross. Not super loving it. Also doesn't give me the same energy hit. But I just felt like something other than water this morning. But I have still quit Red Bull. We're going to see how long I last. I would like to say that it's forever, but we all know that's a lie. So we're just gonna see. Maybe I should set a goal, and if I reach it, I'm allowed to buy something crazy. That's actually really a good idea. Let's do that. What should I buy myself if I quit Red Bull for 6 months? Gives me 6 months to save for something cool. I now have a glorious heat press, so we don't need to do that. I love my heat press. Have you guys seen the video? It's an Impress 2 Auto. Its name is Candy because it's in like Fairy Floss Pink. I've started naming all of my inanimate objects. I have decided it needs to just be a thing. I don't know how big a thing. Is there a tool that you guys have in your house that you love that I don't have? Let's go with that. It doesn't have to necessarily be a big tool. What's something that you guys have that you swear by and you use it all the time for your sewing or lasering, that you're like, Tori should get one. This has Tori written all over it. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. I mean, a DTF machine would be my dream, but I don't have $8 grand, so we're not doing that. There's limits. Also, I think I'm going to go with gold. I found this zipper tape, and this is all that's left of this color, and I think it's going to work perfectly and be the perfect amount for this bag. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to need some zipper pulls. I don't have any pretty gold ones. That's why that was an easy decision. And then gold hardware. And we went with 1 inch. So we need one inch. We're doing an adjustable strap with the little accent, because why the hell not? forgot I had these. Sandra. I forgot. I apologize that I forgot. I have these cute little, I mean, they're designed for magnets, but you don't have to use them for that. But on the other hand, do I really want that on the back of the bag? Because it doesn't quite suit that anywhere on the front. So I'm going to use them in the next month. That's another mission of my own. Alright, gold, that. I think that's all the hardware we need, except for rivets, obviously, but we're not pulling them out yet. And a zipper end. If you don't have zipper, I've got strap ends, not the same. That being said, there's always other options. This is stuff I have not yet put away. Good job, me. This is a Temptress kit. Temptress didn't need them though. I swear I had a whole bunch of zipper ends. Oh, I got Lord of the Rings stuff. I got my Lord of the Rings vinyl the other day. That's going to be a thing too. You know what? I'm going to worry about it later. I don't need to worry about it now. Right. Zipper pulls in the tub. Wham bam, thank you, man. And we need this too. Or have you guys seen what Brymax does? I'm sure I showed you these. You get a cute tin. Love the tin just by itself. I was like, oh my god, cute tin. But I've got little, what are they called? They're made of plastic that look like metal that you rivet on. And I've got that one. So I think we'll use that one. And I got tiny little rivets with which to put them on. Because the big ones take up too much real estate. So little ones were best. Anyway, a couple of them in there, and that in there, and that in there. We'll do the riveting later. Now that I've got my hardware, we're going to chop. Choppity chop chop. Hiya! And then that zipper will be perfect for the other bit. Oh, nearly dropped it. So does nobody have a really cool toy that they wish me to use? I mean, I do have a lot of toys. I'm probably the one encouraging most of you to get all the cool stuff. I regret nothing about that, by the way. And you are more than welcome to tell your significant other that it's my fault that you bought something. I am quite happy to take the hate, honestly. I am here for it. Totally blame me if you purchase something. I'm good with it. So long as it's craft theme related, or in the future, anything else that I do on a video. Like, you need a new jumper. Or you can blame me. I love this jumper. It's pretty. And I am cute as hell. So, there's that. Oop. Line it up in the middle. Zoop. Zip it up. Love that trick. I never realized how much I loved it until I, actually started using it. And for those that don't know what I just did then, I started in front of the zipper, sewed basically a corner, and then moved it out of the way. My birthday party was super fun. Everybody had fun. The girls had so much fun doing all of their custom bracelets and everything. They actually got mad at me because I had too many options, which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, I did have a lot of options, to be fair. I had like 1,000. But it was fun. Oh, the bias tape makers are fun. I did used to have one of those. I blew it up twice from overuse. I blew it up, and then I got my mate to like jerry rig it and fix it, and then I blew it up again. However, since then, I now have a little attachment that I can put on the green machine that will double fold the bias for me as we go. So when I get time, I will be making aprons on the green machine, and I will be using the bias tape folder so that I don't have to do all of that ironing. And I've only used it like once or twice, so we can watch me struggle and then work out like the cheat code to use it best. Absolutely gonna be a thing. Alright, so I got a zipper pocket. The other side you can leave blank. You can also add a slip pocket, a cargo pocket, anything if you want to. The reason I designed this bag though was to be a bit more festivally laid back, all that jazz. So I'm not gonna do that, but you can. It is an option. Right. Sorry, Tori, you have more gadgets than I do. Yes, but we might have different gadgets. Just because I have more does not mean I have all of them. That I can promise you. For the month of December, I've already decided we're going to use all, like I'm going to do lots of little videos because I'll be busy with life and Christmas presents. So you will most likely see videos of all the Christmas presents I make because my friends don't actually watch my channel. I understand it's not for them. It's fine. So I will be doing all of my Christmas presents on videos, but I will also be using all of the gadgets I have to decorate my house in different ways. So there'll be videos for that too. Have you made another Goddess of the Sea? I mean, not recently. Oh, but I could. I did really like that pattern. I remember I made a do no harm but take no bull one, and it sold within like half a day and went to America. Is it weird that I remember that? Probably. It was years ago. It was like 2 houses ago. But I do like Goddess of the Sea. I just get wrapped up in my own patterns. Sorry. I don't know if this pen's gonna work. We're gonna grab a 1-inch ruler because I'm lazy and it's the easiest way to do it. You can get a bigger ruler and measure up 1 inch. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Pen does not work very well. I do like Goddess of the Sea. The other reason I do so many of my own patterns is not just because I love my own patterns, although I do, but it's also because I have templates of them, and cutting is way easier with templates. Was there a part you were struggling with Goddess of the Sea? I might be able to like mentally visual it and help you. It's a really pretty bag. It's a nice shape. It's a nice big tote without being huge. Like it's smaller than Empress. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, it was ages ago, like a few houses ago, but it was really pretty. Also today, if I get a chance, I will be cutting out the brownie, which is my new pattern that I'm going to release, because I just have to do the video and then I'm good to go. So hopefully I'll get around to cutting and prepping that today. I've got a big list of other stuff I need to also get done. I got some computery stuff, some photo editing, some photo taking. I have to go down the street. But I would like to get to the brownie cutting out today. because releasing a new pattern is always fun, and this is like a fun shape one. You're gonna love it. Goddess of the Sea also come with add-ons later down the track, so you can add like extra fun stuff everywhere. All right, right side up, right side down, clip it together. I'm using all of my beautiful new clips from Sandra because they're black and sparkly. Also, you'll find this funny. My mum gave me some money for my birthday and told me I had to buy something that I want and not need. So I bought myself a crown because my child now officially refers to me all the time as legit a queen. Queens need a crown. So it's black with like green sparkly bits in it. I have a crown. So when we do Q&As from now on, I will be wearing a crown with which to do so. Why? Because I'm childish and it makes me happy. Woo! Hi Tori, wondering where you bought your teal trolley and long magnetic strip on the side. So the magnet is a knife magnet. You can get them from Big W, Spotlight, probably Bunnings as well. Mine is stuck on there with thick, spongy, double-sided sticky foam tape, the Gorilla Tape one, because it's strong and you need it to be strong. It's going to hold a lot of weight and the thing is quite heavy. The teal trolley, I think it was Spotlight or I think it was Spotlight because Kmart had a white one, Spotlight had a teal one, and they were on sale for the same price, so I got the pretty one because it was the closest thing to green. But other places do sell them. I don't know about overseas. There's limits to my knowledge. But Spotlight, and you can get these from Spotlight, Big W, and I'm pretty sure I saw them on Bunnings, like Marketplace. I love my trolley. It is 100% amazing. I have put all of my thread in there. My big pegboard behind me, I actually think I'm going to put pegs on it and then cover the whole thing in all of my crochet dudes to have a pretty backdrop. With which I am trying to convince my friend that can crochet to make me a Alien, like Alien versus Predator, because I have Predator and not Alien. It's just rude. Amazon has the knife holders. Amazon's not as big in Australia as America. I'm not sure if Americans know this or not. It's not like same day delivery where I live at all. You can get it in like a week. I'm also fairly remote where I live. Well, they say I am because I'm so far north. So yeah, there's that. But I love the knife holder, like best decision ever. There's a couple of things I could no longer live without. Like if they broke and died, I would absolutely go out and replace them. The magnet is definitely one of them. Not that I can foresee a magnet stopping working because you can just like remagnetize it. But the magnet holder, I could not live without snips of some kind. Today I'm using these ones because these ones are the sharpest. But there's always options. A sewing awl, could not live without a sewing awl. I am blessed in the fact that you guys sent me, well not all of you, but a lady sent me a whole bunch of amazing ones that are turned and resin and green and epic. I did give some away in some of my swapsies, which was also fun. Also fun. But no. What else couldn't I live with? Heat press. Could no longer live without a heat press. I will not go back to an iron to interface stuff. I love my heat press way too much for that. Any heat press. Although my new one is fabulous, but any heat press is better. It's quicker than an iron, in my opinion. I don't know if I will replace my embroidery machine if it ever breaks. I do love it. It is now getting quite old, But a new one's like 10 grand, and I just don't know that I can justify that. But it's also not dying yet, so we're fine. I just keep getting it fixed, and the guy keeps trying to convince me to trade it in for $500 and spend 10 grand on a new one, which I will not be doing. These are magnetic bobby pin holders. So they've got magnets on the bottom, nice, really strong ones. And then they go there. They are awesome. They are from Sandra. So we would have to ask Sandra where they are from. I have enough to have them on both the green machine and this machine. The only thing I need to get is like clips that go around them to stop them unwinding. Okay. In the bin we go. Flip it. Now I'm going to go up to a 4 stitch length. I will have to get up and cut some foam soon, but as you can see, I'm actively avoiding doing so. I'm joining that edge. The raw edge is best if you join it now rather than later. I find it much easier. This is a very short tail. In a perfect world, you should probably have a longer one. But this was the last of the zipper, so chop that one off. Right, now lining. We need both of our lining pieces. Temu is dangerous in that it is very easy to spend a lot of money on cheap things in a short amount of time. Alright, we need double-sided tape. So these are the little accents that we stick on top, and it's going to hide the raw edge of this. The fact that I was sick last week means I am a little bit behind. I do still want 6 of these and 6 empresses. I've already got about 4 or 5 vixens, so I'm not in as much of a hurry to make some of those. That should be right. So, now we're just going to line this up in the middle, which looks about there. Now, I can eyeball the center pretty well. If you can't, just bend it. You'll be right. I have faith. My bin's also nearly full. Right, and then we take this, then we want the zippers closing the same way, so we line that up, and then the top edge along there, like so, and then there, and then bam. And I'm going to sew that while it's in its right position, in case it decides to move. And I'm going to reverse up, and I know that seems crazy, but sometimes it's really just easier. And I like to sew at least the long edges, and the one short edge was just get from A to B. Bam, one side. Repeat on the other side. And again, if you wanted to, you could absolutely add more pockets. But I designed this as like a bit of a festival, chuck everything in and be done bag. The add-on just makes it, with the gusset, thicker with the zipper closure instead of a magnet. But I do like the other version. It's just more people would prefer a more practical bag, which is this version with the zipper and the gusset. Alright, zippers are done. Looking good. Matches really well. Very, very happy with that. Next up, we need our fringing. So this fringing is actually quite long, and it's got this piece in the middle that's supposed to help hold the fringing in place to make it easier. I don't know if that's true, if it's actually going to help. I'm going to go, now this I make up today, we're going to go 2 inches from the top edge. And I am just going to, I'm going to go down to a 2.5 because it's more joining. But we are just going to, right next to the edge, make these touch and sew. Now, the reason I can do it this way is because it's a continuous piece. Doesn't matter how much I use. If you wanted to, you could also do this to the back and you could have like a lot of fringing, which actually might not look so bad. I haven't decided if I wanted to do it yet. It's why I'm saying it out loud to see how I feel about it. Don't be afraid to change your mind halfway through designing a bag, especially if it's not a custom order. Like, do whatever you want. I'm not the boss. You're not, like, the pattern is not the boss of you. Take some creative leaps. You might find you really enjoy it. Right at the edge. And then we also need to make sure we don't go further on this side than the other side. So I'm going to mark whether it works or not. It's a whole other thing. But I am going to attempt to mark so I don't go past the spot I need to. When you get close to the edge as well, you can actually just cut it. Like so. And then you've got to cut this little joiny bit down here. Whoop. Stop it. It just pulled out. That is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Whatever. It's fine. So, while it's laying flat, that is the joining part that was in the middle. So don't worry about that. We also want to cut off our tails. We don't like tails. We don't want to stick it out later. Get it now. Leave it lying flat. Now the gusset. Now the best way I have found with this bag is to add foam or some kind of like thicker interfacing to the gusset. It gives it more stability and it's less likely to implode on itself. In saying that though, I also have a pretty full bobbin, so I want to make my strap. Now, normally I fold both sides into the center, but today I'm not going to do that because I'm feeling creative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put double-sided tape along one edge and fold it in half. And if you're not making your strap adjustable, my suggestion personally would be to add the fringing out this side as well. I did it for my friend's bag and it looks epic. But because this is adjustable, that won't work. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't put it on part of it. There's options for everything, right? So obviously most of this adjustable part has to go up into it, but you could put, what's that, 15 inches of fringing at the front. You know what, let's do it. Why not? I'm suggesting it. Let's just do it. It's not like I don't have enough of this stuff. There's a crap ton. So, That's 15 inches. It's just a bit. It'll still allow for a lot of adjusting to happen. Ugh, go over there. You also want to make sure you leave a bit at the start because we need to attach the other thing. So I'm just going to start, what's that? 1.5 inches from the end. Stick it on. Like that. And then fold all of this over. Like that. Ta-da! It's going to be such a pretty strap. Now, because that's going to give me grief, we're just going to put a couple of clips to stop it being a jerk. This is very, very extra, but sounds right up my alley, let's be honest. I am who I am. Alright, so the rest you shouldn't need clips for. You could also just add another piece of double-sided tape to that area if you felt like it, and that would stop the lifting. What did you just order, Cindy? The magnet things. They are very cool. But I would also suggest getting the little clamps that go around them to stop them unwinding. It's gonna look amazing. All right, we're gonna start with a long edge because that's where we always start, with a 4 stitch length. Get some speed happening. And then we're going to slow down when we get to this part because I don't want to stitch the fringing underneath. Make sure it's all kind of pushed down. Pivot, raw edge. It's not so much about that raw edge, it's more about getting to the other side. And then again, we're going to go slowly so we don't stitch it in here. It's just a pain to get out, that's all. Nobody wants to play that game unnecessarily. It's going to be a very hippie bag with a skeleton on it. And across the bottom. Chop. Bin. And then there's 2 little lines in here. So you grab, where is it? This, and just pull it out. And then we grab this other bit here. We should be able to pull on that too. Sometimes it doesn't want to play ball. Maybe grab it from the other end. One end always works better. Sometimes you just have to grab one part of the string and it will unravel itself like it was before. And sometimes we're just not that lucky. You grab the right bit and it unravels. You grab the right, see? All right, so we grab this end, pull, and it unravels itself. And now we have free moving tasselinas, which will just hang kind of like that, but still look cool. See? Love it. All right, so we're gonna start with the opposite end because we just need to. All right, we're gonna go up, down, through, sew it down. We're gonna do the barn door. Yeah. I do it from this way because this side of the foot is a little bit skinnier, and I'm going to go back down to a joining stitch length because we want this joined, not just pretty. Don't want it falling off. That would be a disaster, would it not? Barn door, back stitch, trim, done. Then we're going to take this one, go up and through. Now this particular fringing will do it. You just got to have a bit of patience. Right? Still fits. We're all good. If it was thicker stuff, you might have more drama than that. It's a very little barn door. Done. Now we have a fabulous strap. I love that. It's not for everyone, I get it, but still, I love that. Ah. That was not the strap I was making. Forgot this bit. Oh well. Should be right. It's a very Aussie saying, that, isn't it? Should be right. It's true though. Okay, so let's do the construction of the bag. We could actually probably start. I'm just avoiding getting up to cut that, let's be honest. I'm doing everything but that's all right. Let's make the lining. So this is the gusset. I'm going to fold it in half and find the center. Like so. And I should have the center on one or both of these. Right. So what I'm going to do, now this is not for the beginner to do it this way, but I'm going to put a clip there and then that's it. I'm also not putting the little accent on this part just because I don't want to. I want it to have a different look. We've got a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so we're going to start, and I'm also holding that zipper out of the way to make sure that I don't accidentally stitch it. Alright, and then once I've done a little bit, we're just going to hold this where it needs to be. And it should fit fine because my maths was good. Alright, and then there's the center. So I use one clip for that. But again, you don't have to do it my way. You can add more clips. The outside I'll be adding like 100 clips. This just saves a bit of time, really. Backstitch. Clip, clip. One side. Check it, make sure it looks good before we grab our zigzag scissors. And for those that are new here, I do know that they are called pinking shears, but how often in life do you really get the chance to say zigzag? It's a fun word. You won't convince me otherwise. and therefore I call them zigzag scissors. Each to their own, right? Alright, one side. And some rubbish. Now we just add in the other side. Pretty much same thing. Clip in the middle at the bottom. You also want gusset side up to do it my way. If you want to do it my way, otherwise clip it and then you can, well, I mean, I still recommend gusset side up, but whatever. You can do it any way you like. Center. Join up at the top edge, work your way down, hold it all in place. Do, 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 do. Also, make sure that zipper part is out of the way so we don't stitch the zipper. And back stitch. Have I convinced any of you to try and do stuff without clips yet? I hope so. It's not as daunting as you think it is, especially for a lining. Outside, different story. Outside needs clips. The foam and all the stuff kind of pushes back against you. I do not recommend it for the outside. But the lining is absolutely a great place to go without clips. You can see I'm cutting off most. I'm not being super careful about this. As long as you don't sew your actual stuff, you'll be fine. Yeah, that's alright. I do enough talking for everybody, let's be honest. I'm also going to take normal scissors and just cut down here. You should especially do this if you're on a domestic because it'll make the top stitching much, much easier. Maybe they're not spellbound by me. Maybe you're all just like doing housework and stuff while I talk to you. That's also great. Alright, I'm now going to make sure that my zipper pocket is open so that I can turn the bag through there. And now we have no choice but to get some vinyl. Not vinyl, sorry, bag foam. So here's my roll of bag foam. It is double-sided in that it has glue on both sides. Always a wondrous thing. And then here's my template, which is 2 separate pieces. Even if nobody chats to me, there's currently still 49 people watching, which means that you're somewhat interested because you haven't left yet. I also, today, I need to go and get a new inkwell for my favorite pen in the universe. Again, a gift from one of you. Look at it. It's amazing. It's green and black. I love it. But the ink ran out because I use it so much. How many times can you say that you've used a pen so much that there's no ink left? They usually dry out before I get there. I'm going to mark this with a texter because it's foam and it's the easiest way to do it. These click together like a jigsaw puzzle, which I also love. And I'm starting from this edge, so I theoretically waste less. Because again, important not to waste your stuff. Which is again why I'm trying to work through all of my fabrics. I obviously still have to buy some stuff, but it is considerably less than I used to. I don't need to hold on to everything. I'm not living so remote that there's not fabric shops near me. So that's another thing. You may be hoarding fabric, but if you live in a cabin alone in the woods, that makes a lot more sense because you're probably not going to the shops all the time. Me, who now lives in town where there are, you know, a few fabric shops, I don't need to be such a hoarder. I could have all 46, oh, there's 50, sorry. I could have all 50 of you come here right now, build a Rascal, and not run out of vinyl or fabric for one. That's how much crap I've got. That's a lot, guys. You're out walking. That's cool. All right. Piece of bag foam. Mission accomplished. Now, normally what you would all do is iron it on, but because it's going all the way to the seams, we are going to not bother with that. We are going to sew it together. So we're going to line it up at the edge, hold it in the middle, stitch it together. And why am I wasting my time doing this? So many reasons, but it'll be easier in the long run. The Sewing Room of Ghana. Garner. Alright, line it up. Another thing people used to do, I don't know if it's still a thing anymore, but they used to overlock the edge of the foam to push it down to make it kind of fade off into the distance. Why am I sewing slowly? Because I nearly knocked my can off. Yeah, Sandra's just taking a sabbatical. Sometimes I think I should take a break from stuff, but we all know I won't. Instead, I'm getting a new hobby. Because all of my hobby, like the laser originally was a hobby, and now it's my business. So even though it's fun to do, it's no longer a hobby. A hobby is something that I will not be making money from, which is why I will not be selling any of my hand and face creams that I make myself, because it's for me. Now, we are going to do the side without the fringing first, because fringing can totally get in the way. We don't want to play that game unnecessarily, and so I'm just not going to. And by doing that, it will be easier. If you do the side with the fringe first, it is much trickier. In saying that though, if you wanted to, you could add fringing to this side as well, in which case the point is moot. I also just had a thought, if you're wondering why I just look like a crazy person. I had a thought, because I still have to attach my D-rings and my bag thing. So this is going to go on the side. I've done it before. It's a really cool place to put it. But if I had those little, instead of D-rings, I'd love my little swivel dudes. And I'm sure you'd have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me see if I've got gold ones, because there is method to my madness. I've got rainbow ones. Not quite what I'm after, people. Come on, cupboard, give me what I want. Oh, I must be out. That's disappointing. I had plans. Ow. So what I was looking for are these really cool, like, swivel connectors. And I just don't have any in gold. Which sucks. I've got them in all the other colours except gold. Apparently I've used them all. I'm just triple checking because the idea is really cool and I want to do what I want to do. So if you're wondering, it's these things, but in gold. I put my logo on here. I don't know if that's going to load to show you. Look, I put my logo on it. And I would have loved to have put that on this bag, but apparently I don't have any gold ones. So, plan B it is. My next project is just more of these. I'm going to make a whole bunch. I need to make 7 because 1's in order and then 6 to sell. Although I've already got 1 or 2, so maybe I could make 4. And I have started cutting several of them. I want to do a Jack Skellington themed one. I also need to start putting these on my website in case somebody wants to buy it before the market. I'll get there. Okay. So on that note, what I need is some of this, because I don't think I cut my D-ring connectors, because originally in my head I was going to use the cool swivel things, and so I didn't need to. But I'm out, and it's really made me quite sad. Had such plans. I really thought I had some. Bronze just isn't the same, so we can't do that either. So I really need some of this vinyl. Can I show them to you again? Of course I can. So what you do is you screw them in from like the inside of the bag. And so you screw it in there, and then it's like a little floppy. So you can put it vertical or sideways like that, and then you just use your clips to attach onto them. I used to sell them in kits. I love these. They're quicker, and I think they're really pretty on a bag. So instead of having like a whole D-ring in the sewing, you literally just stab a hole and then have it on there. Oops, dropped it on the floor. Shocker. I always drop stuff on the floor. It's a magic trick of mine. And I really thought I had some, and as you can see, it's really bugging me that I can't find them. There's a packet of black ones, but again, I need gold. They are a fun alternative to D-rings. Oh, so much cool stuff. I also need to make a gold Lord of the Rings bag that is coming, or a bronze one. I have all of these. Except what I need. Isn't that always the way? I never have the things I need to do the ideas in my brain. Very frustrating, people. Very, very frustrating. Alright, so what I need now is I need to go and get some of this, a scrap. What are they called? I don't remember what they're called online. Some people, I can tell you that some people use them for like glasses holders. You have like a little hook, and then you can hook your glass, like your reading glasses into them. But I can't remember what they're officially called online. But I will look it up for you later if you like and find out for you. And if you're wondering why I'm crouching like a weirdo, I'm trying to find the roll of this stuff so I can cut a 6 by 1 1/4 inch piece so that I can make attachments to make the bag. The other option is I could actually run another piece like the Aura Rosa patterns and have the D-rings attach and have like an extra accent piece. That would be quite pretty if I had have used any other vinyl as an accent anywhere else on the bag. But because I haven't, you would either do it the same color or you would skip it. What are they called? I can't even remember what I used to call them. I just know they're awesome. No idea, I'm sorry. My brain's just misfiring and I can't remember. Please don't hold that against me. Where is my vinyl? See, this is the other problem. I've got so much stuff now. There's no space for stuff. But I can show you one of my, I got this. I know I'm sidetracked, but just, look, it's Lord of the Rings. So I need to make myself a handbag, and I've been trying to decide what I want. Anchor strap anchors. There you go. Thank you. Strap anchors. How fantastic is this? For those that love Lord of the Rings, obviously I'm obsessed. So I'm trying to decide if I make myself another kangaroo in Lord of the Rings theme. Because I have a few Lord of the Rings prints. Because Sandra also sent me this, which is embossed and amazing and very, very green. So between all of that, I could make myself something absolutely fabulous. I'm trying to decide, do I make myself another kangaroo? Because I do quite enjoy my bag. Or do I hold off and design Quest for myself? I know you're all probably like, it's a no-brainer, just do Quest. I'm like, yeah, but I do really like kangaroo. I like the messenger style bag. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Scissors. Now normally I would just cut this on the cutting mat over there, but because I don't have a glorious setup where we can just switch cameras, it's not a thing. One day I'm gonna have a whole bunch of cameras and we can just switch between A, B, and C. It would be amazing, but not today, ladies and gentlemen, not today. Alright, double-sided tape. But no, definitely love the strap anchors. They are glorious. Very quick to install, especially if you've got an electric screwdriver, which I do. I also only really deal in one size D-rings these days. I don't buy all the sizes. It took me over a year to realize that you don't have to use the same size D-ring that the pattern tells you to. The D-ring is there to add a clip thing to. So long as you've got a clip that fits a D-ring, you can pick one size for all bags. It took me so long to like have that epiphany. There you go, Tori. That is what you want and not need. What is? A new handbag. I bought a crown. Actually, I bought 3 crowns because I couldn't decide which one I liked more. I don't regret it. They're amazing. I'm going to have crowns. I am just going to randomly wear a crown while sewing. And I will wear a Legit Queen top and my Legit Queen pants. And life will be sorted. It's not like I go anywhere. I'm not going to wear a crown down the street. I'm only mildly insane. Alright, so we're going to go 1.5 inches from the... Actually, we're going to find the center. The camera. What? Well, I think I could also do it with like a whole bunch of phones, like connect them through, except you need to get a program. But that might be a good gift to myself if I go 6 months without Red Bull. I'm allowed to go and buy a bunch of like cameras or phones or whatever. That'd be cool. Now, I personally plan on doing hidden strap connectors. So if you guys have never seen that, because it's vinyl, you just cut a hole and off you go. Because I can eyeball this pretty well. That should be about the right size, I should think. Ah, would you look at that? That one missed a little bit. But how good would it be if I could have like a live and then we just go, oi, over to that camera. And then boom, over to there. The prepping, I would do a lot more prepping videos if I had that set up, but I'm going to have to ask a professional what I actually need for such a thing. Who are you trying to fool? We know you're crazy. No, that's fair. I'm not trying to fool anyone. Everybody knows I'm crazy. I am who I am. I'm also an enabler. I'm fully aware of that too. You want to go back and forth several times, that little connector is going to hold the whole way to the bag. And like I always say, you never know who is a random rock collector and therefore need to adjust your sewing accordingly, as if everyone is going to go out in the world and bring home a bag full of rocks. If you have that assumption in your brain, every time you make a bag, it will always be able to hold the right weight. I am crazy. I don't even deny it. I like who I am. I mean, how many people can truly say that? And when I get trolls, it really amuses me. Like when I get people come and dislike my videos, I get really excited. I'm like, you must be so upset in life that you have to dislike something. I've never disliked a video. It greatly amuses me, especially when I have a troll and they come and dislike like all my videos in a row. I'm like, you think you're upsetting me, but you're still just helping me. Bring on the haters. Several back and forths will make sure that that won't fall. You can also add a rivet if you want to. I am then going to take this, now that I've got my D-rings, I'm going to take this and line it up underneath. Again, my crappy purple pen. I don't know if this is marking. We're going to find out in a second. Oh yeah? We've got enough of a mark. I am merely here to encourage you to live up to your creative potential and make enough money to pay some bills. That's all I really am doing in life. And once we get to a point where nobody watches me anymore, I will stop making videos. But there's enough people here that I'm not quitting anytime soon. Would it be nice to get more views? Obviously, but I'm also a very niche thing. I'm not going to get thousands and thousands of views all the time, and that's okay. I knew that going into sewing. If I wanted to get millions of views, I'd have to do like stupid things on the internet. It's just not really my jam. Now these are very small rivets. And I'm going to squish it with this and not the press for so many reasons, but mainly because it's tiny. And it works though. Say what you want about my crazy ideas. This works out very well, right? So I'm just going to have them completely flat, the rivets. Doesn't matter. Looks cool still. Still looks good. And see, the small rivets don't take away from the plaque. Alright, now all of the clips. We're going to do 3 at the bottom. We never just do 1. Do we remember why? Because it moves and nobody wants to play that game. And even though I've put no interfacing here, having the foam in just the gusset is A, cheaper, and B, will give enough structure to your bag that you don't need more, and therefore save money. I wish I could be confident enough to sell my bags. So you know what you do? You start with family and friends. Do you give them away for Christmas? That's actually probably where you should start. If you give your bags away at Christmas time and your friends love them, that's a sign. Also, if you're just going to start out, so this is where I need my crown. I'm about to start ranting, right? If you feel confident enough to give them away at Christmas and everybody loves them, that is a sign that you are therefore good enough to sell them. You probably can't sell them for thousands of dollars, but you price your work accordingly. So if you think your stitches are a bit wonky or whatever, you sell to the cheaper end. So you take all your materials and then you add X amount of money rather than trying to work it out, you know, per bag and per hour and all the other stuff. If you just want to make all the money back from the materials you spent and then a little bit extra. That's how I started. I just added a little bit to the price. My first bags I was selling for like $50, which was stuff all, but I at least made my money back on all the crap I had to use, so I wasn't out of pocket for sewing. Obviously that snowballed. See, look how many clips you use for the outside. All of them. And we need to go back to a joining stitch length of 2. I also, when you first start, don't take custom orders. They're a headache. Or, if you're going to take a custom order, all they're allowed to pick is the overall color. Like, they want a blue bag. They can't, like, don't let them come in and be like, I want this pattern with that on it, in that color, with that embroidery, and this and this and this. It gets overwhelming. Don't do it. It's a trap. I know some people that don't do custom orders at all because it is a lot of extra work. You could just pick 2 things that they can do. Be like, I want that shape bag with a lot of blue, and then nothing else. Don't let them get too specific. Hurts your brain. All right. Flick all this crap into the middle as best you can. Whack this on top. Center to center. Even if you sell your bags just for cost price, you're not out of pocket at all until you get your sewing into a better state. It's also an idea. They only have to pay for materials. And when I say materials, I mean a portion of money towards thread, a portion of money towards however much interfacing you use, the fabric, any embroidery designs that you want to buy to purchase to add to the bag, like all of those little things. And there's a lot of people these days that make spreadsheets. You can put in the total amount of the fabric, how much you use, and it spits out prices for you. And there's heaps of them out there. Lots of people have created these for free use for people, which I think is very lovely. You have to remember, I started out sewing aprons, and now I design handbag patterns. Like, there's a big A to B moment there. Okay, let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. I will not be trimming this down because of the fringing. Do, 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 do. I have that song in my head because we have been watching Ace Ventura a lot lately. My child thinks it's funny. I understand that some people think it's no longer in taste. It's funny then, it's funny now. Each to their own. It's just a movie, right? Just a movie. Everyone takes stuff way too seriously these days. Not me. I'll take nothing seriously. Look at me go. Alright. We're good. I've trimmed the excess here. Now all we have to do... Oh no. Exactly what I didn't want to happen has happened. Oh no! That's annoying. I'm gonna have to fix it. Yoink! It's fine. Mission Impossible theme, always a winner. Ha! Problem solved. You should absolutely make yourself a bag. A summer bag. Do you carry a lot? Do you carry more or less in summer? Is the first question. Do you need a big bag or a little bag? See me, I can't use a really little bag because I just can't. Frustrates me. I don't carry a lot of things on me from day to day, right? So it's not about that. It's about when I go to the shops, if I'm just grabbing a few things, I want to be able to shove them in my bag so I don't have to take in a whole other bag for like 3 items. So I need a handbag that's big enough that when I go shopping, I can just shove the extra crap I've purchased into said bag. That's how it works for me. So like I could probably make myself one of these bags. I do love Rascal. It would be a good size bag for me, as long as I did all the add-ons. I could also add some extra pockets. Not that I ever really use the pockets, but they're always nice to have just in case. So the outer one would be where I put my phone. Alright, lining first, grab a bottom, turn. So, I don't know, this would make a beautiful summer bag. Actually, the Rascal, beautiful summer bag. I just need to pick a thing. I could do a Lord of the Rings. I also went and bought a Stanley knife yesterday. Actually, this is important news to you guys because it's going to help me cut fringing better, I think. Yeah, see, my husband does the same. Whenever we go somewhere, honey, can you just chuck this in your bag? So you need a big enough bag to be able to have all that stuff. Look at that. It looks amazing. You can't convince me otherwise. Pull out a few. Grab the end. Is this end going to be the opening end or the closing end? I think it's the other end. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, you can pull it out one at a time. Who wants to do that crap? Not me. Said the flea. Not I, said the fly. Now I'm actually just talking to myself. I just finished 2 self-made patterns, but don't know what kind I would do for the summer. I think a nice, this would be a good summer bag. It really would. Even though we're coming in, well, we're in winter now. I also don't live so, oh, okay. It's not going to work out the way I'd hoped. Just going to have to pull it out. Fine, be like that. I don't understand why I can't just play ball and undo and unravel just the way I want. How rude. I need at least 1 zipper pocket because that's where I put ladies' sanitary products. Because, you know, you never know. You might run into someone that needs one. You just always have them. I do. Chop. Chop. I'm going to turn the bag in. Top stitch, good to go. Top stitch zipper, done. Actually, technically. You can't tell me that's not cute though. I know it's not a vinyl fringing, but I still think it's fun. I'm going to go up to a 4 stitch length so we can top stitch. I'm going to push them down. I think that this would be a perfect summer bag, and I also think it would be a perfect leather bag if you wanted specifically leather. This bag was designed with leather in mind. So if you wanted to have a raw edge at the top here, you absolutely could. As long as you did the add-ons. Something to keep in mind. I'm rolling this up as I go, because I am an impatient human. I mean, my cold is my mum's like summer, hottest temperature right now is my sleeping temperature. But I'm cold in comparison to what I normally am. But we have a pretty mild winter here, which I suppose is good. Move all of the tassels down out of the way. Trim off the tails and then melt them. This is why you should always make more than one of a bag too. It's so much easier when you know the pattern to like smash through them. No, I wrote the patterns, but that's not really the point. The more you make something, the better you get at it. Or the more you start to resent it. There's always that too. Alright, let's get our zipper on. And then we're done and we're good. Zip, push it down and in, and then we just need to add a zipper end. Now, because I can't find the gold zipper ends, even though I'm sure I've got them. I'm absolutely sure I had some. But anyway, because I can't find them, we're just going to cut one out of some scrap. This piece of scrap here will do. Oh, actually, we can get... Yeah, that'll do. Right. Across there, across there, across there. Boom. You don't have to have the metal ones. They're just pretty. They're not necessary, though. You could also make pretty shaped ones. Has anyone ever thought of that? You totally could. I'm not going to, but you totally could. Alright. Piece of a double-sided tape. Make sure the zipper, the sticky tape goes all the way to the edge. Pin it down, like so. Bam! Sew it up. I'm going to start with the side touching the zipper so it doesn't come out. Very real possibility of that, so keep that in mind. Up one side. And then, this is where we get all tricky. Tory tricky. We're going to reverse. It's like 4 stitches, won't kill you. So much easier than trying to get all the way around the bag, for anyone that doesn't know. Trim off the tails, and we are done, ladies and gentlemen. And see how, with just the gusset having the foam, you get the perfect shape without using all of that extra. Obviously, I changed the plan with this a little bit there, but that's all right. Clip it on. And the other side. And wham bam. Thank you, man. So when you put it on your shoulder, let me just show you. Look at that. You get like a little bit of extra tassel here, and it kind of helps tie it all in. How fabulous is that, though? I really like it. Each to their own. It might not sell. I'll be selling this for $100 if anybody's interested in knowing how much I sell these for. $100. I still make a profit. Everyone's happy. If you're paying a lot for your DTF, you might have to up the price, but done. Be inspired. Do different stuff. So this normally has like that little accent and more fringing. You could add more fringing. You could add a line of fringing to the back as well so that there's like crap loads of it. You could also get really long fringing. I want to do a bag with like 1/2 meter long fringing. It's on my list. Not this week, but like it's on my list because I think that would be amazing to just have like ridiculously long tassels. It'd be fun. Anyway, that's me done. I had an appointment at 10. It's 10:05. Life happens. Don't worry about it. But yeah, super fun bag. I've just taken away some of the accents and put on a pretty DTF instead. Because why not? Dare to do different stuff though. Like this is just a really fun little extra. And it'll look amazing when I stick it on a mannequin. You watch. I don't know when my next live will be. We all know I'm not much of a planner. But I'll get there. I promise. Go make something inspired. Go alter a pattern and feel inspired and make yourself a summer bag. You should definitely do that. All right, I'm off. Bye, everybody. Boop. Boop.